Hello guys, welcome back to Tech Projects. I am back with another video, and from this video we are going to see how to create a WhatsApp status saver app in Windows Studio. So I already uploaded a demo video of this project. If you don't see the demo video, then check out the demo video to see the features of the app. So in this video I will write the whole code how to create that kind of application. So if you don't see the demo video, I want to just give a quick intro of that application. So I open this application, so you can see it show all status which is uploaded by the users on WhatsApp, and after this if you click on any of the status, it will send to the user on new activity with the same data, and from here you can simply save the status from to your local storage, and then you can access these files using your gallery, using file explorer, or like any normal file you access on your phone. So in this video we are going to see how to create this kind of application. So don't further delay, now let's start the video and see how to do this. So if you don't subscribe the channel, then please subscribe the channel and hit the bell notification, and please also follow my Instagram page for regular coding content daily. So now let's start the video. So first of all, for creating this application we have to open our Windows Studio. I open my Windows Studio, then after this you have to click on file, then after this you have to click on new, and then you have to simply click on new project, and after this select the empty activity, click on next, give any application name to your application. So I simply give here WhatsApp status saver, then click on finish. So it will create this application. So our project is created successfully. So first of all I close my previous one project, so I close this. I again open my Windows Studio, so it is here. Now Gradle is building, so let's wait first. So Gradle build successful. So now for writing the code of our WhatsApp status saver app, first of all let's create a splash screen first, then we will write the main code. So right click on your package name, then you have to click on new, then you have to click on activity, and then you have to select here empty activity and click on this. Now give any activity name to your application. So I simply give the activity name splash screen because this is going to work as a splash screen. Then you have to click on finish, and it will create this activity. So now you can see it is created successfully. Now let's create the design of the layout of our activity splash screen. So I minimize this thing from here and also select the only design, not blueprint. So this is done. Now zoom it little bit. Now minimize it. Now first of all what I have to do, I have to simply set the background color. So I simply type here Android background and set the background color white, but you can give any background color, it is your choice. Now inside this splash screen I try to design my splash screen as very simple. So for this I simply take an image view here. So I simply type here image view, then you can give any layout width. I simply give 150 dp. It is your choice, completely depend on you what width you want to give. And after this you have to simply give your layout height. So I simply again give 150 dp. Then you have to pass any source. So for now I simply use here launcher round, so I am going to use this source. And then after this what you have to do, you have to simply type here center in parent. So it is not showing because I don't change the constraint layout, so delete the constraint layout because I have to use relative layout here. So simply type here relative layout. So this one is fine. Now we have to simply type here center in parent, pass through. So this is done. Now close this. Now below this I can simply take a two text views to show my channel name, and you can give any name, it is your choice, whatever you want to give. Simply set the layout with wrap content, height, wrap content. Now we have to simply type here align parent bottom, pass through, give the text size. So you can give any text size, it is your choice. So I simply give here 15 sp. Then after this below this we have to simply type here center horizontal, pass through, give the margin bottom is 45 dp, 55 dp is fine, but you can give any. Then you have to simply type here text style, so you can give any text style. I simply set the text style bold, and after this simply set the text, so whatever you want to set the text. So I simply type here from, then close this text view. So you can see it is created successfully. Now below this text view what I need one more text view. So I simply take an open bracket, type here text view, set the layout with wrap content, height, wrap content again. Now below this what I have to simply type here align parent bottom, pass through again. Then from this time I have to simply set the margin bottom 30 dp, not 55. Then you have to first set the text. So I simply type here tech projects, you can give any, it is your choice. Then below this we have to set the center horizontal, pass through. Now give any text size. So you can give any text size. I simply give the 20 sp. Then you have to simply, if you want to give text style bold, it is your choice. And now we have to simply set the color, different color. So you can use my color code, you can use your own color code, it is completely dependent on you. So my color code is #77B8F8. Now close this text view. So you can see it is created successfully. Now it looks amazing. So it show lots of warnings. Simply take your cursor here, simply click on collapse empty text to remove the warnings. So you can see it is fine. Now the splash screen is created successfully. Now we have to write the Java code how to work with splash screen. So simply open your splash screen.java. Then inside this splash screen, first of all I have to simply take a variable here, final static. Then I simply give the variable int, and then you can give any variable name, it is yours. So I simply type here splash underscore timer. It is completely depend on you, whatever you want to give the variable name. Inside this you can store any number. So 1000 mean 1 second. You can see 1000 mean 1 second. So you can, if you want to show your splash screen for 1 second, then you have to simply take 1000 here. If you want to show your splash screen for more than 1 second, 3 second, 4 seconds, so you have to type that value inside this variable according to that. Now in my splash screen I don't want to show the action bar, so get support action bar dot hide. Then I don't want to show also title, so title bar, so we have to simply type here get window dot set flags, and inside this we have to simply type here window manager dot layout params dot flag full screen. Then again window manager dot layout params flag full screen. Then this is done. Now we have to show the delay on our splash screen. Because I want to show the splash screen for 1 or 2 seconds, then I want to open our main activity. So for this we have to use a new handler. So simply type a new handler. Then after this we have to simply use the post delay method, post delay. Inside this we have to implement the runnable interface, new runnable, then press enter, so it will automatically write the whole code. And inside this what I have to do, I have to simply start the new activity. So intent, new intent, and where I want to go from this activity splash dot this to main activity dot class. This is fine. Now we have to simply start the activity, start activity, and inside this we have to pass the intent. So this is done, and after this we can finish this activity. So it's showing error, so we have to pass the timings. So simply take your cursor here, take a comma, and simply pass the variable name splash timer. So and also add a semicolon here, so you can see error is gone. Now in our manifest file, by default the priority is set on our main activity, because on creating the project main activity is created first, that's why. So I have to set the priority on our splash screen. So simply come inside our manifest. So you can see intent filter is used to set the priority. So now from here we have to simply delete the main activity and simply type here splash, and from here delete the splash and simply type here main. So you can see now the priority is set on our splash screen. So our code is ready for our splash screen. So now it's time to write the code how to get the permission from user of our local storage, because WhatsApp save all status in our local storage. So if we want to access that folder, or if we want to access that files, then we have to take the access of our local storage, or we can say we have to take the permission of local storage, external storage. So for this, first of all we have to declare permission inside our manifest. So simply take an open bracket, type here uses permission, and give the permission name, write external storage, then close this. Now I want to tell you one of the most important thing. What is meaning of external storage? So external storage contain both things, internal storage as well as if you have SD card. So in future if you try to build application like music player, or we can say video player, then you want to access all video files or MP3 files, then don't confuse between internal storage, external storage. And there is no concept of like internal storage. External storage contain both things, external SD card as well as local storage, which is phone storage. So hope you understand. Now second thing I want to tell you, which is the most important thing, if your SDK version is less than 23, then we don't need to write any code for taking the permission. But SDK version 23 means lollipop, or we can say KitKat. But after the KitKat, like Marshmallow, Nougat, and latest Android version like Android 10, so in the end that applications we have to take the permission on runtime. We can't directly take the permission. We have to only take that permission when we need it. So for this we have to write some Java code. But if we have less than SDK version less than 23, then we don't need. But for now we can say everyone has a latest Android version, so that's why we have to write some Java code. So I will tell you one method, important method. So from using that method you can take any kind of permission from user. So we have to simply first open your main activity.java, because a main activity is our main activity. So inside this First of all, we have to simply type here int and simply give the variable name request code. Then inside this simply store 1. You can store any variable, it is your choice. Now inside this, first of all, whenever user open the application, first of all we have to check whether the user allow the permission or not. So I simply call this function check permission and then semicolon. So it's showing error because I don't create this function. So take your cursor here, click on create method, so it will create this function. Now inside this function I have to write some methods like how to take the permission on runtime. So first of all, I can use here simply if else condition. So if SDK int greater than 23. So what it mean? It means the Android version is above than KitKat or Lollipop, or I don't confirm, but maybe it is 23 is Lollipop or KitKat. So if SDK version greater than 23, then we have to take the permission, and otherwise we already have a permission. So inside this else part, I can simply give a toast here, toast.makeText get application context already. So you can give any message, then comma toast.length short, then dot show. Now inside this if we have two conditions. Let us suppose user open the application second time and user already allow the permission on when user open the application first time. So for this we have to check some condition here. So if check self permission, and inside this we have to simply pass the permission name. First of all, manifest dot permission dot write external storage. So this is done. Now we have to simply take a 2 equals here, then type here package manager, package manager. Then we have to simply type here permission granted. So it means user already allow the permission whenever user open the application first time, and then on that time we don't need to do anything. We have to simply call our main code. So this is done. Now if user open the application first time and user don't allow the permission, so then we have to simply show the pop-up allow the permission, or user can deny the permission. It is your choice, or it is the user choice, but we have to show the pop-up of that thing. So I have to simply type here activity compat dot request permission, then we have to pass the context, and then we have to simply take a new string. Then after this take 2 curly braces here, and then we have to simply type here permission name. So manifest dot permission dot write external storage, then after this comma, and we have to pass our request code. So this is done. So you can see I make the permission work very easier, and by using this kind of code you have to simply change the permission name every time, and you can access any kind of permission in Android. So hope you understand how the permissions work inside Android Studio. So this is done. Now we successfully get the permission of the user of the local storage. Now we have to write the code how to access the files of WhatsApp hidden folder, and then we have to do some coding how to save the debt status on. So we have to do lots of code. So first of all, let's design the layout of our recycler view to show the status, and also we have to design the layout because in my main activity I have a swipe refresh layout. So also we have to design the refresh layout. So expand your layout, then we have to simply come inside our activity splash, activity main. So inside this, first of all, we have to implement the swipe up refresh layout, and then we will design our card view of our recycler view, and then we will write the Java code. So let's design the layout first of our main activity. So first of all, we don't need this hello world, so simply delete this text of hello world, and also here we need a swipe up refresh layout. I don't need a constraint layout, relative layout. I need a swipe up refresh layout because if user swipe up, then I want to refresh the layout to load the new status. So for this I have to use an dependency. So simply come inside your Gradle scripts and simply come inside your build.gradle module app, and here we have to add some dependencies. So first, now press enter. Now here we have to add some dependency. So I will provide the drive link of a text file, so you can simply copy paste the dependency. So for this you can see this is my folder. I open this files folder, and this is the new text document, and I have to use all these dependency, glide dependencies for image loading, and swipe up refresh layout for swipe up refresh layout, and other 3 dependencies of Apache is used for file handling. So that's why we need to use all 5 dependencies. So it is better you can simply copy paste I will provide the drive link, so you can simply copy paste directly. So I simply paste these dependency here. Now you have to click on sync now. So after click on sync now, Gradle will build and it will import these libraries. So just wait. So you can see the Gradle build successful and dependency set up correctly, and we are ready to write the code. So simply close this build.gradle module app, and one more thing we have to do, we have to use some icons inside our project. So I will also provide the icons links of these the project icons which I used in my project, so I will also provide the drive link, so you can simply directly copy paste these icons. So I simply copy this icon, Control C copy, then open your Render Studio again, and after this you have to right click on your drawable folder. So click on this, then right click, then you have to click on paste and simply paste the icons inside drawable v24, then click on OK. So it will paste the icons here, so you can see the icon pasted successfully. So it is showing red line, so that's why it is showing red line, because it contains numbers. So I have to rename all files. So first delete this, then I open my files folder again, and I have to quickly rename this. So right click on this first icon. Now I rename this successfully. Now click select all one, Control C copy, then open your Render Studio, then simply paste them here. Now click on OK. So you can see now the icons is imported successfully and it's not showing any error. So we are ready to write the code. So first of all, simply come inside your activity splash.xml, and instead of this launcher icon, what I need here, I need my own icon. So I can simply cut this line and I can simply type here splash logo. So you can see it looks amazing. Now come inside activity main XML file and we are ready to write the code. So first of all, here we need two things. First of all, swipe up refresh layout, and second thing what we need a recycler view to show all status. So delete the constraint layout. Simply when you type here capital S, you can see I already added dependency, so it's showing this option, so it is fine. Now for this you can give any background color, it is your choice, and it is completely depend on you whatever the color you want to give. So you can use my color code or you can use on. So my color code is FTF9F3, so this is fine. Now below this what I need a recycler. First of all, give any ID because I want to access this, so that's why I simply give the ID name swipe. Now press enter. Now simply take an open bracket, type here recycler view. It is not working. Recycler. So this one, recycler view. Set the layout with match parent, height is also match parent. Now give any ID. So I give the ID name here, ID recycler view, and then below this press enter and simply set the first system windows true. Then close this. Now the main activity work is complete. Now if you know or not, I already uploaded a detailed video how to work with recycler view, and you can also check my Firestore notes app series if you want to know how to work with recycler view. And there are lots of videos already I upload on recycler view. So I just want to show you tell you how to work with recycler view. So for the working with recycler view, as you already know, we have to create a model class and also we have to create an adapter. So hope you understand. Now if you want to know why we need a model class, why we need an adapter, then you can check that detailed video, and you can find that videos on my playlist or in my channel. So for this, first of all, we have to create a model class. So for this, what you have to do, we have to right click on your package name, right click, then you have to click on new, then you have to click on Java class, then give any class name. So I give the class name model class, then press enter. Now inside this model class, we have to define some methods, or we can say getter and setter, and the values which we want to use inside our application. So I simply type here string, then I want to take the path of our file, then file name by which we can store that file, and the second thing URI. So URI hold the image icon. So now it's showing error, so click on this and alt plus enter, so it will import this class. Now what we need a constructor and getter and setters. So that's it. So simply click on alt insert, then click on constructor, then select all, shift by using shift, then click on OK. So this is done. Now what we need a getter and setters, and also we need an empty constructor. So alt insert, then we have to click on getter and setters, then select all first, then click on OK. So it will create this. Now what we need an empty constructor. So alt insert, then constructor, simply click on select none. So this model class is also created successfully. Now we have to create one more class which is known as constant class. So in this constant class, we will define the where we want to store the status, and in that class we also have to define from where we want to fetch the WhatsApp status. So hope you understand why we need this class. So right click on your package name, then you have to click on new, then you have to click on Java class, then give the class name constant, then click on this. So this is created successfully. Now inside this, what I have to do, we have to simply declare two string where we want to save status and from where we want to fetch status. So I simply type here public static final, then string, then folder name, folder underscore name. You can give any name, it is your choice. And this is the folder name where we want to fetch status. So I simply take two double quotes and simply I take a backslash. Then this is the WhatsApp folder where our WhatsApp status is saved. So you can't make change in this folder. If you type this WhatsApp as wrong, then it will not going to work. So hope you understand, because I want to fetch status from local storage, and this is the default folder, or we can say default path from where we have to fetch status. So you have to give the exact name WhatsApp. Now we need a public static, one more variable, final string. Now you can give any variable name to this, because it is your choice whatever you want to give the save folder name. So I simply type, first of all, give the variable name save folder, then name, then inside this double quotes double slash, then inside this you can give any path name where you want to store your status. So for this simply I type here status saver. I will later tell you how to access the external storage, but this is just a folder name, so don't confuse. Now this is done. Now after this, what we need an adapter to work with recycler view. So right click on your package name, then you have to click on new, then you have to click on Java class and give the class name. You can give any class name, it is your choice. I simply give here class name adapter, then click on this. Now inside this adapter, first of all, the things which we need a recycler view. It is not showing, so first of all we have to type here extends recycler view dot adapter, and inside this we have to type here adapter dot view holder. So it's showing error, so simply take your cursor here, click on create class view holder, so it will create this class. Now take your cursor again here, simply click on implement methods, and it will implement all three methods which we want to use inside this application. So this is done. Now you can see it is again showing error. So it's a make view holder has the, it's a again showing error. So simply take your cursor here, simply click on this, so it will extend the recycler view holder. Now take your cursor here and it say to create constructor matching super, so you have to click on this. So you can see now the all error is gone, and this is just a not null, and we have to import this. So what I can do, I have to simply delete these lines. We don't need this. In newer Render Studio this come, so you can delete this. And also delete this from here and delete this from here. So you can see now the all error is gone, and we are ready to write the code. So first of all, for working with recycler view, as you already know, we have to create a layout file. Why we create a layout file? To design the items, how our items looks inside our layout file. So for this, what I have to do, I have to create a layout file. So right click on layout, then you have to click on new, then you have to click on layout resource file. Then you can give any file name, it is your choice. So I simply give the file name item underscore layout, and from here you have to simply select the, instead of constraint layout what we wrapper, we can use relative layout, and then click on OK. So it will create this layout file. Now click on split. Now first of all, add a background color to make it a little bit attractive. So simply add a background color hashtag FD F9 F3. So this is done. Now layout width is match parent is fine, but layout height is wrap content. Otherwise it will show only one item on one screen. So we have to simply set it to wrap content. And then after this we have to simply give a padding, small padding 5 dp. Then press enter. Now take a open bracket here, simply take again relative layout. Now inside this relative layout we have to set wrap content, height wrap content, and then give the margin, and you can give any margin, it is your choice. So I simply give the margin 5 dp. Then below this, what I have to do, I have to simply close this, and after closing this, take a card view inside this relative layout. So simply take an open bracket and type here card view. Set the card view with 100 dp. You can set any height and width according to your own items. It is completely dependent on you, and this is also 100 dp. So this is done. Now we have to simply set a background tint to make it add a little bit color. So I simply take a hashtag, and you can give my color code or your color code. So 7FA1C3. So this is my color code. Now we have to simply give the card corner radius. To make it perfect round, we have to simply give the radius according exact to width and height. So we have to make all things are same with the height and card corner radius if we want to make it perfect round. Now close this. Now inside this card view, I need one more card view. So simply take an open bracket. On that card view, I want to show my main content. So this is 90 dp because this is 100 dp and I want to make this card view above this. So that's why I take this. So 90 dp is fine. Now for this, we have to simply give the layout gravity and give the gravity center. Now you have to simply type your card corner radius to make it perfect round. So we have to give the 90 dp. This is fine. Now close this. Now inside this card view, what we need a 2 image view. So simply take an open bracket, type here image view. Simply set the layout with 90 dp is fine. Later I will tell you what is this. And give the layout height is also 90 dp is fine. Now we have to give the layout's gravity center. Then we have to simply set the tint, and you can give any tint. I give white. And now you have to give the scale type center crop. Then close this. So it's a error. So take your cursor here. It's a set tint. So it is done, app tint. Now we need one more image view below this image view. So we have to buy with this image view because we want to show whether it is an image, or we can say whether we have to show whether it is a photo or a video. So for this icon, we have to simply take this 30 dp height, layout width also 30 dp. Now we have to simply type here source. So launcher round. For now I simply type this. I will change this letter. Layout gravity center. Then we have to simply set the app tint, and then we have to set the color white. Then we have to give any ID. So I give the ID play. Then close this, and also we have to give ID to this. So ID, and I give the ID name here thumbnail of status. So this is done. Now we have to take a vector icon. So right click on here, then new, then vector asset, click on this icon, click on this, and simply type here play. So we want to use this play arrow. Click on OK. Next, finish. Now instead of launcher round, what I need here play icon. So delete this and simply type here play. So this is done. You can see this file is created successfully. Now the background color is not working. So background color is not working. You simply add a background tint. So delete this. It is also not working. So I don't know what is the bug here. So you can add both background tint and background. So add both things. So now this layout file is created successfully. Now what we have to do, we have to simply work with our recycler view, and first of all we have to fetch files, then we have to show that files on recycler view. So for this, come inside your main activity.java. Here we have to fetch files. So first of all, we have to working with main activity. Inside this we have to take some we have to declare object of adapter. So simply type here adapter and give the variable name adapter. Then below this, what we need a file type array, so store or files. So I simply type here file, then I give the variable name files. You can give any variable name. So it's showing error. So click on this and press Alt plus and enter. Now below this, what I need one more array list. So why I need array list? Because I want to store all files inside this array list. Then I will send this list on our recycler view to show on that data on recycler view. So I simply type here array list, then the type of array list, and the type of array list is our model class type. And then I simply give the file name here files list. Then inside this equal, then new, then array list. So this is done. Now below this, what I have to do, we have to simply give the ID names on our recycler view, find view by ID like this. So recycler, maybe I forget to give the ID name of recycler view. So simply press enter and simply type here recycler view and give the ID name here recycler view. This is done. Now I also need to give the ID name is swipe up refresh layout and give the name here refresh layout. So you can give any ID name, it is your choice. Now first of all, let's do some coding. Recycler view equal find view ID r.id dot recycler view. This is some basic coding. Now we have to refresh layout equal find view ID r.id dot swipe. I give that ID on swipe. Now if someone click on refresh layout, so refresh layout, because if someone want to refresh the layout, so refresh layout dot set on refresh listener, then new, then capital S and press enter. So if someone want to refresh, then we have to simply refresh this layout. So I have to simply type here refresh layout dot set refresh refreshing, and inside this simply pass it true. Then we have to delay this activity. So first of all we will call the setup layout function. So I don't create this function till now, so don't worry, but we will call this function after refreshing. Then we have to simply take two curly braces, and inside this we have to simply declare a new handler. Then we have to delay this activity dot post delay new runnable interface. So we have to simply type here refresh layout dot set refreshing, and after refreshing this we have to simply change it to false. And inside this we can simply pass our splash timer, or we can say we have to simply type here 1000 in 1 second. So this is done. Now we have to create this function setup layout. In this code, in this function we will write our main code. So create method setup layout, then click on this main activity, so it will create this. Now you can also call this function setup layout just below this. So setup layout, you can also call this function here, and also you can call this function on refreshing. Now press enter. Now inside this, first of all we have to clear the list. So file list dot clear, and we have to create new list, that's why. So then you have to simply type here recycler view dot set has fixed size true. Then below this what we have to do, we want to use staggered grid layout manager inside this. So staggered grid layout manager, then give any variable name equal new staggered grid layout manager. Then inside this we have to first pass the how many rows we want, and then we have to pass the staggered grid layout manager dot direction. So we want it vertical. So this is done. Now press semicolon. Now we have to simply, what we have to do, below this we have to simply set the staggered grid layout manager on our recycler view. So recycler view dot set layout manager, and pass this staggered grid layout manager. Then after this we have to declare adapter new adapter, this is object, and inside this adapter what we have to pass the current context. We will call this adapter to set all data on our recycler view. So that's why we will create this adapter. So first parameter is context, and second parameter is our data which we get from our files. So I don't create this function get data till now, but don't worry, we will create this later. And below this we have to simply set the adapter on our recycler view, set adapter, and we will pass this adapter. And after this we have to simply adapter dot notify data at set chain. So this is done. Now we have to simply create this get data function, and we have to fetch all files using this data. So you can see this function is created successfully. Press enter. Now instead of the private object of this get data, what we need this of array list type. So I simply type here array list, then take brackets, and inside this pass the type of array list model class. Now press enter. First of all we have to give the object variable of model class type. So I simply give the model class f. You can give any variable name. Now we have to, from where we want to fetch the file. So I simply declare a string here, string target path. Then we have to, first I give the wrong name, target path. Then first of all we have to access our local storage. So I simply type here environment dot get external storage directory. So now I come inside our access storage. Now we have to go inside our get absolute path plus constants. So this is our constant dot folder name. So I already tell you the all status in store on our WhatsApp. Then we have to, and the inside WhatsApp folder the all status presents inside our media. So simply take two quotes, double quotes media, then take backslash dot, and this status is folder, and you have to type this as it is, otherwise it will not going to work. So all status is store of WhatsApp store inside this folder. So now we successfully come inside this target path folder. Now we have to simply type here file, then target directory. Then inside this we have to convert this target path to target directory because we want to access this. So inside this we can simply pass the target path, then semicolon. Now we have to simply get all files. So I simply type here files equal target directory dot list files. So it will give the all files. Now we have to simply add these files on our array list. So I simply type here 4, then we have to run the loop int I equal 0 from where we want to go up to the files length, files dot length, then I plus plus. Then we have to simply add these files on our array list. So we have to first declare the file type of the object, file files. Inside this we have to pass our variable I, because if we want to add file on our array list, then we have to convert it. So f equal, this is our model class. We have to create the object of model class, new model class, and then we have to simply type here f dot set URI to set the icon. URI, we have to set all values, so URI dot, and inside this we have to get the URI from file and simply pass their file. Also we need a path, so we have to set all three things: name, file name, and URI. Set path, then we have to type here files array of I, position of I, then we have to get absolute path, so it will give the path. Now below this we have to get the file name. So get name is the inbuilt function of file directory, so we can directly use this. So set file name, and inside this we can simply type here file dot get name, so it will inbuilt function. Now we have to simply type here if condition, if f dot get URI to string and ends with. So if it is end with no media, this media is not exist, like something like this. Then if it is end with no media, then it means it is not exist. And if it is not equal, then we have to simply add this on our file list. So file list dot add, and inside this we have to pass our model class f, then semicolon. Now we get all files inside this. Now we have to simply return this file. So return files list, then semicolon. Now you can see one error is gone and it is showing error. So why it is showing error? Adapter, new adapter, main activity dot this. So it's a expected argument 2 and I expected 0 and found 2. So don't worry, because I don't create this function inside adapter, so that's why it's showing this. So now press enter. So come inside your adapter class and press enter below this. Now first of all we want to, because we calling the adapter from our main activity, so what we passing two things, context and our array list. So for this we have to declare two variables. So context, give any variable in context, and then we have to array list of model class, then give the file name is file list. You can give any variable name, it is your choice. Now it's showing error, so click on this and press alt plus enter. And now we have to create the constructor. Alt insert constructor, select both. Okay, so you can see it is fine. Now this error is also gone. Now this is done. Now if someone click inside on create view holder, what we have to do, we have to return the view. So come here and press enter first. Here we have to type here view, give any variable name view, then we have to type here layout inflator dot from context. Now what we want to inflate, our item view, inflate dot layout dot item layout. Then we have to pass another two things, which is root our null, and that's attached to parent false. Now we have to return this view. So return new view holder, and inside this simply pass the view, then semicolon. Now it is showing error because to return statement, delete this. Now come here, inside this get item count, and here we have to return what we have to return. Instead of 0, what I have to return, file list dot size. So this is done. Now this is our recycler view holder. Inside this we have to typecast the XML ID with Java IDs, so that's why. So press enter below this bracket. Simply take simply give two variables here, image view. One is our main status and second thing is our play button, then semicolon. Now we have to assign the XML ID to our Java IDs. So press enter below this bracket, so it will create confusion. So now it is fine. Now below this we have to simply type here main status equal item view dot find view ID r.id dot, and inside this we have to type here thumbnail of status. Now the second thing is a play. So play equal item view dot find view ID r.id dot, and inside this we have to pass here play, then semicolon. Now we have to write the code inside our onBind view holder. how to move the user from this activity to another, and also how to show the data, all data here. So the main code come inside on bind view holder. So first of all we have to show data. So simply type here final, give the variable name model class, and give the again variable name model class equal file list dot get position, then semicolon. Now we have to type here if model class dot get URI dot toString dot ends with, and if it ends with MP4 then it means it is video. So if it is MP4 then we have to show also the play icon. So simply type here holder dot play dot set visibility, and inside this we have to type here view dot visible, and otherwise we have to type here else, and otherwise we have to holder dot play dot set visibility invisible. So this is done. Now we have to show the status on our image view. So simply type here glide dot with context, and then we have to simply load the URI on our image view load, and inside this we have to type here model class dot get URI, and then we have to simply load this, where we have to load this into holder dot main status. So this is done. Now from till now we write the code how to fetch all statuses from our local folder inside our recycler view. So it's time to check our app whether the app is working, and if it is working fine then we will write the code how to move the user from this activity to another, and also how to save the status. So first of all, before checking this app we have to write some important line inside our manifest if we want to work with storage. So simply open your manifest file. First thing which we have to do, we have to type here, press enter, and type here request legacy external storage pass through. This is one of the most important thing. Now below this theme we need one more thing. What we need? Simply take open bracket, type here provider. Now give the Android authorities $, then take two curly braces. Inside this what I have to type here application ID, and make sure you type this as it is dot provider. Now the second thing which we have to pass here, Android X dot core dot content file provider. So this is done. Now we have to type here exported false, then we have to give the grant URI permission pass through, then close this. Inside this we have to take a metadata, then give metadata. After taking this, give the name of metadata. So you have to type here android dot support dot file provider paths, and make sure type this as it is file provider paths. Then after this press enter, and second thing which we need, resource XML @XML, take 2/ and give the name here file provider underscore paths. Now close this. Now it is showing error because I don't create this XML file. So how we can create this? So right click on resource, then you have to click on new, then you have to click on Android resource directory and type the resource type XML, and give the, first of all type the directory name XML, and give the resource type also XML. Now click on OK. Now right click on this, then you have to click on new, then you have to click on XML resource file and give the file name file provider underscore paths, then click on OK. Now click on split. So these are the some basic things. Now instead of this preference screen, we have to type here paths, and where the path external storage. So simply take an open bracket, type here external path, and give the path name external underscore files. Make sure you do not make any changes inside this. Then after this we have to pass the path, and inside this we have to simply take a dot, and then we have to close this. Now come inside manifest, and you can see the error is gone. Now let's check our app whether the app is working, and if it is working fine, then we will write the more code how to save status on our local storage. So I successfully connect my phone. Now I have to press on run button, and you can see Gradle start building, so it will install this application. Now the build successful, and it will install the application inside of a phone. So you can see application installed successfully. So you can see it say allow WhatsApp status saver app to access. So if I deny this, you can see it not showing anything, and it is WhatsApp status saver. So I open, then we have to simply allow the location. After this is the refresh layout. You can see it is work fine. So it is not showing any data, and the cycler view is also not working fine. So you have to check what is the problem. So don't worry. So why our app is crashing? First of all, because you can see I call the function setup layout here. Let us suppose user don't allow the permission, but it is still calling this function. So that's why it is crashing. Let us suppose user deny the location, deny the external storage, but it tried to access the files. That's why you have to simply comment this. Now one more thing you can also do, Control X cut from this here and simply paste here. Now there is something is still missing. So come here, and whenever user allow the permission, we have to call the function setup layout here. And also we have to call the setup layout here if the permission is already granted. So this is done. Now close this all files, remaining files, and we will check our app later. And don't worry, we will create that application which I saw in demo, so don't worry. Now open your adapter class again, and here we have to write the code. Let us suppose user click on image or anything, then we have to simply send the user from this activity to another activity with the same data. So first of all, what we have to do, we have to simply write here holder dot set holder dot main status dot set on click listener, then new, then capital O, and press enter. So first of all, we have to check it is video or mp3 or mp4. Get URI dot to string to ends with dot mp4, then press enter. Inside this we have to pass some things. So first of all, we have to get the path where we want to of the file path, because we have to show that same file on our new activity. So I simply type here final string path, and I have to simply type here file list dot get position. Then after this you have to type here dot get path. Then we have to take the destination path string, destination path where we want to store our files, or we can say our copy of our status. So dest path environment dot get external storage directory dot get absolute path dot constant. So instead of dot, we have to type here plus constant dot save folder name where you want to save our status, then semicolon. Now inside this, what you have to do, we have to start the activity. So if it is mp4, then we have to start video activity. Intent equal new intent, where we want to go from this activity context to our video dot class. So I don't create this activity till now, so don't worry. Then semicolon. Now below this, what we have to pass some things. So intent dot put extra, then we have to pass where we want to store our videos, or we can say our files. So I simply type here give the dest path video. We will access this on our new activity using this same string. So hope you understand how to pass data from using intent dest path. I have to pass this. Now the second thing which I want to pass our video. So I simply type here intent dot put extra, then our file underscore video, then how we get the file path using this path. Now we have to pass file name. So I simply take two double quotes again, give the name file name video. So this is done. Now we have to pass here model class dot get file name, so it will return the file name. Now we have to pass last thing, which is our intent dot put extra URI of that video. So simply type here URI underscore video, then we have to type here models class dot get URI to string. Then we have to start the activity, context dot start activity, and inside this we have to pass our intent. Now if it's else, let us suppose if it is a picture, then we have to come inside our else part, then take two curly braces here. Then inside this, what we have to do, we have to do the same thing again. So we can simply copy this code, Control C copy, and simply paste the code here. So why I am using else if here? Because I want to open different activities like video activity or video activity or picture activity. That's why. Otherwise we can use the same method. So I can simply type here picture dot class. I don't create this class till now, so don't worry. And here we can give the different name if you do want. So I give the name here dust path only, and also I can give the name here file only. And the second thing, I can simply type here file, and simply I can type here URI. So this is done. Now we have to create these activities. So right click on your package name, then you have to click on new, then you have to click on activity, then select empty activity, give the activity name here video, click on finish. Now right click again on new, then click on activity, select empty activity, give the activity name picture, then click on finish. So you can see the error is gone of both classes. Now let's design the layout of our picture class first. So instead of this constraint layout, what I need here, relative layout. So I simply take an open bracket, type here relative layout. Now add a background. So add a background, hashtag FT. Now below this, now first of all simply come inside your item layout, and we have to simply copy this code of background tint, Control C copy, and simply paste this inside our activity main XML file behind the recycler view. So this is done. Now come here, activity picture. Now press enter. What we need some things here. So simply take an open bracket, type here relative layout, set the layout with match parent, height match parent. Now give the padding. So I give the padding 5 dp. Now we have to simply set the background color, and I give the white, then close this. Now inside this relative layout, what I need an image view here. So simply take an open bracket, type here image view, set the layout with match parent, height match parent. For now you can set any source. I simply set the launcher round, so you can see it is fine. Now center in parent pass true. It is your choice whether you want to pass this or not. Now set the layout above, and I give the layout name components. I don't create this till now, but don't worry, components. And then we have to give any ID, so I give the ID name here particular image, then close this. Now inside this, not inside this, inside this relative layout, what we need a linear layout to show all components like share button and download button. So simply take an open bracket, type here linear layout, set the layout with match parent, height wrap content, give the ID name components. Now you have to give any background color. It is your choice, whatever you want to give. So I give this color code. Now set the align parent bottom pass true, and for now orientation horizontal, then close this. Now inside this linear layout we need 3 image views. So simply take an open bracket, type here image view, set the layout with 50 dp, and this is also 50 dp. Then we have to give the margin and give the margin 5 dp. For now source, and I give the share. Then after this layout weight, give the layout weight 1, and then we have to give the any id. So I simply type here id my chat app. You can give any id name. Then close this image view. Now what we need 2 image views after this. So simply copy this, Control C, copy, paste, paste. This is share, and here I give the id name here share, and I use share here. So this is chat app, so I use different drawable here, drawable of chat app. So this is done. Now we have to delete this, and we have to give the id name here download, and then we have to use the drawable here download, so it looks fine. So you can remove your background. I will provide of without background, but this contain background. So if it is better if we can set the background color white, or it is your choice, but it looks fine. But don't worry, I will provide the drive link of these icons in without background, but this time I have a background with this background, so that's why it is look like this. So but still it is fine. Now what we need same code inside our image view, video activity. So Control C, copy, Control C of whole code of picture. Simply come inside Control V here, click on this, Control A, delete, Control V. So this is done. Now we have to make some changes inside this code. So first of all we have to give the correct class name here, so otherwise it will crash video. Now what we need here video view instead of relative layout, or we can say image view. So what we can do, we have to delete this image view from here, and inside this relative layout what I need one more relative layout. Set the layout with match parent, height match parent. Why I am using this? Because I want to make it perfectly responsive image view, that's why. Center horizontal pass through, center vertical pass through, then layout above, components, center in parent also pass through, then close this. Now inside this relative layout what we need a video view. So simply take an open bracket, type here video view, set the layout with match parent, height match parent. For now set the center in parent pass through, center horizontal pass through, center vertical pass through, and then we have to type here fit system windows pass through. Then we have to layout gravity, Android, you have to type this manually and pass it center. Now we have to give any id, so I give the id name here particular video, and then we have to give the margin bottom 5 dp, then close this. So you can see this video view is created successfully. Now we have to create one more layout file of custom dialog. So new, then layout resource file, give the file name custom dialog, set the root element. Instead of this what I need here relative layout, then okay. So we have to create this file, and then we will write the Java code little bit to how to save that status. So click on split, enter first, press enter. Now take open bracket, type here relative layout, set the layout with according to your demand, according to your need you have to type this. So I simply type here 300 dp. Set the layout height 20 or 20 dp is fine. Then we have to give the background, so you can give any background, it is also hashtag e1 e1 e1. So I want to use this. Then we have to type here center in parent pass through, then close this. Now inside this what I need, card view, set the layout with 90 dp height, then margin top 10 dp. Then we have to give any id, so I give the id name here OK card. Then we have to center horizontal pass through, to make it perfectly round, card corner radius pass through, sorry 90 dp, then close this. Now inside this card view what I need an image view. image view, set the layout with match parent, height match parent, id okay, logo, source okay. Then we have to scale type center crop. Now close this. So you can see it is fine. Now below this card view, what we need a to text view to show whether it is saved and with the OK button. So what we can do, simply take an open bracket, type here text view, set the layout with wrap content, height wrap content, set the text color. So you can use any color, so I use 5434343. Now we have to set the text size, so you can give any text size. I give 25 sp. Then we have to give the text style bold, give any text, so you can give any text, so I simply type here saved. It is better to give this like this. Center horizontal pass through, margin top 15 dp, then close this. And one more thing we have to do, layout below OK card. So this is done. Now below this what we need a OK button. So simply take an open bracket, type here button, set the layout with wrap content, height wrap content, text OK, center horizontal pass through. Now ID, so I type here ID and I give the ID name here OK button. Then we have to give the margin bottom, and you can give any margin bottom, I give 10 dp. Then after this align parent bottom pass through. Now this is also created successfully. So custom dialog is also created successfully, and you can see it looks amazing. Now we have to simply write some code inside our video.java and picture.java. So close this, also close this, close this, close this file, also close this file, and also close this main activity and leave these files open. So come inside our picture.java. So first of all, what we have inside this picture class, we have 4 things. So I simply type here image view. So first thing, m particular image, then we have a download button, then we have a my chat app, and after this what we have a share button, then semicolon. Now first of all, come here, simply type here get support action bar dot set title, and for simply I type here picture to show it is picture activity. Then after this what we have to typecast our XML ID into Java ID. So m particular image equal find by id r.id dot particular image, then share equal find by id r.id dot share, then download equal find by id r.id dot download, then my chat app equal find by id r.id dot my chat app. So this is done. Now if someone click on share, then we have to simply display a toast share is clicked. So you can perform whatever you want. You can also share the status. I don't write that code inside in this video. Now I simply type here share is clicked, then toast dot length short to show this toast. Now we have to try to understand one important thing. If we want to save a status on our local storage, then what it mean? We have to make a copy of particular file, and then we have to simply store that file where we want to store. So for this, now when we have to perform this function, when user click on download button. So first of all, we have to take the data using an intent, because we are getting data from our previous activities. So simply type here intent equal get intent. Now what data we need? So first thing, we have a string dest path where we want to store our data. So I simply type here intent dot get string extra, and inside this we have to give the file name here dest path, and you can check this. I open adapter and you can see this is the dest path. Now you again open picture.java. So this is done. Now the second thing we want string dot file type of file. So inside this we have to type here intent dot get string extra. Inside this give the variable name file which we use in adapter. you have to give same string name, otherwise it is not going to work. Now what we need our URI, string URI equal intent dot get string extra, and inside this you have to type here URI. Then last thing, we want to take file name, because if we want to save file on our local storage, then we need a name of that file. So intent dot get string extra, and inside this we have to type here file name. So confirm these string names from here. So this is intent dot model class path, so this is wrong. So open, simply give here file name. So this is done. Now it is correct. You can see these four matching with this. So this is done. Now what we have to do, we have to store, first of all show that file on our image view, and then we have to save that file. So we have to convert string dest path into the file type. So I simply type here file, which is inbuilt. So click on this and alt enter, give the variable name dest path 2, then new file, and inside this what we have to pass our dest path. So it will convert this to according to file. Then we have our file. So inside this I simply type here file again, then I give the variable name file1, then new, then file, and inside this we can pass our file, because if we want to make copy of these files, then we have to convert first into the file type. So this is done. Now first of all we have to load URI on our image view, glide URI get application context, where we want to load, dot load what we have to load URI, and where you have to load into particular image, then semicolon. Now we have to type here download if someone click on download button. So main coding start from here, download dot set on click listener, then new, then capital O, and press enter. So if someone click on download button, first of all we have to simply type here try. We have to write code inside our try catch block. Inside this we have to simply use an inbuilt function copy file to directory. So I simply type here org dot apache dot commons dot io dot file utils dot copy file to directory. So if you import the dependency successful, then it will show this option. Then what we have to do, we have to pass our file, and then where we want to copy it, our destination path. So this is done. Now we have to make a catch. For this catch, inside this we can use IO exception e, then e dot print stack trace, and this is done. Now below this, for successfully copying of the file, we have to use the media scanner. So type here media scanner connection dot scan file. So pass the context, then after this take comma, new string, and inside this string we have to dest path plus file name. We have to pass this, then take a comma again, then second thing which we want to pass string, then take two curly braces, then double quotes, and inside this double quote star slash star. So you have to type this as it is, then take comma again here, then new, then media scanner connection dot media connection clients. So this is done. Now you can see error is gone. And after this, what we can do, below this bracket we can simply display our custom dialog saved. So dialog equal new dialog, and inside this we have to pass our context. So you have to pass this like this picture dot this, your activity name dot this, then below this dialog dot set custom content, and inside this you have to pass your custom dialog file name r dot layout dot. So it is not showing here, so I have to check why it is not showing here. Then we have to show this dialog dot show, then we have a button inside our dialog button, Then we have to type here dialog dot find view by id r.id dot OK button. It is showing, but custom dialog is not showing. We have to see why it is not showing. Then we have to simply set dialog button dot set on click listener, then new, then capital O, and simply what we can do, we have to do nothing. So this is done. Now it is not showing here, so take your cursor here, click on this. First of all, let's add underscore. So you can see now it is fine. Now the error is gone. Now the picture work is complete. Now come inside our video.java, and here you have to write some code, and then we will check our app whether the app is working or not. So first of all, what we can do, we can simply copy this code. So take these things from here, Control C, copy, paste the things here, and instead of particular image, I don't need this in image view. So why I don't need this in image view? Because this is our video view. So video view and particular video. Now we have to typecast the variables. First add a semicolon, then open this. Simply copy this code, Control C, copy. You can copy the code till up to this. You can copy whole code. Control C, copy, and simply come here and simply paste the code below this. Then we will make some few changes. Changes we have to make. So first of all, instead of particular image, we have to type here video. Then r.id dot particular video. Then this is fine. This is fine. Now get support action bar dot set title, and this is the video activity. So I type here video. Then you can see in adapter, when I pass the data, I add a simple underscore video extra word on everything. So we can simply type here underscore video, underscore video, underscore video, and also underscore video. Now whenever user open this application, then we have to simply, first of all, we have to play the video. So how we can play the video? So for this, what we have to do, we have to simply comment this glide. We don't need this, and we can simply type here media controller, then give any name, media controller equal new media controller, pass the context this. Then we have to media controller dot set anchor view, inside this pass particular video. Then you have to start playing this, so it will automatically start playing this. Now for this, you have to type here URI, give the variable name URI1. Then we get the URI from previous activity URI.parse, and give the variable name URI, then semicolon. Now we have, for playing the video, we have to simply type here particular video dot set media controller. Inside this we have to type here media controller. Then the other thing which we want to media controller particular video dot set video URI. So we have to pass the URI 1. So this is done. Now we have to simply particular video dot request focus. So this is done. Now we have to type here particular video dot start, so it will start playing this video. So finally our code is ready. Now it is showing error. So you can see this is context error. So instead of picture dot this, I have to pass here video dot this, because this class name video. So now our app is ready. Now we have to check our app whether the app is working, and if it is working fine, then we will end this video, and if it is not working fine, then we will check what is the error, and then we will proceed. So for this I have to connect my phone, and I press on run button, and I install the previous application. So first of all, I have to install my previous application, then I will run this again. So I press on run button again. So it is built successful. So first of all, it say to allow the location, I allow the storage, allow it. Then I refresh this, and when I refresh this, it shows statuses, but it is not showing the image on the URI, and if I click on any of the item, you can see it is video. So you can see video is playing and image. So it is work fine, everything is work fine, but the data is not able to show on our recycler view. So it is happening, I have to check why it is not showing the data on our main activity, but when I move to new activity it successfully passed the data. So I have to check this problem, and let us suppose if I want to save this. So I download this, and you can see I get the toast of save. I have to download which video. I download this. Now I go back. Now I open my files and we check whether it is downloaded. So inside images, you can see this is our status folder, and now I download this image. So it is fine. And if I come inside videos, you can see this is status saver folder, and video is also downloaded fine. But the problem is that it is not showing the data here. So maybe it is due to slow internet connection or something else. So we have to check. But by the way, our app is completed successfully. So I have to check this again. So I have to check this problem, and then we will proceed. So finally I figure out that bug, why statuses are not showing on our main activity and why it is showing inside our picture and video. So there is a small bug, and I just want to show you what is the small bug and why it has happened. So when I come inside item.layout, and when I click on this image view, so you can see by default I set the app tint white. So due to this, it automatically set the app color white. Image is loading but behind this, so that's why it is not showing. So you can see this small line can make in you big trouble. So always make sure these things. So now if I run this application, I want to show you whether it is working fine or not. So for this I have to uninstall the application from my, first of all I will uninstall the application previously. So I install this application. You can see WhatsApp status saver app, and then I run this application again. So now let's see whether it is working or not. So it is installed. Now it is open successfully. So splash screen logo is not looking so much good, but I will provide the icons without background, so don't worry. Now if I click on allow, so you can see if I refresh this, you can see now I get the all statuses, and you can see it is work fine, and now finally the application is ready. Now if I click on any of the data, you can see it is opening new activity and it is work fine. Now let us suppose if I save this, so I get the saved. Now I open my files to show you again. Previously I show you, but I want to show this again. So come inside images, this is status saver, and you can see here is the image. So finally our status saver app, WhatsApp status saver app is finally created. So this kind of tutorials take so much time. So if you don't like the video, then please like the video, and please share this video with your friend, and please support my channel. Please subscribe the channel if you're new to our channel, and if you want the source code, then I will provide the GitHub link in the description, so you can check that. So thank you, see you soon in next amazing Android project. Thank you, see you soon.